All right, Bill Walton ready to jump against Shoemate. Controlled by UCLA, lost ball, loose ball, grabbed by Notre Dame. Saved in front of the Notre Dame bench. He says no, out of bounds. Gold and blue, the colors of Notre Dame, with a little Irish shamrock and a little green on their uniform as well. Now, the Bruins in there visiting blue, and they are up against the zone here at the start. Out at the point right now, Wilkes, then coming back of him, Greg Lee into the left corner to Hollifield. Fed to Walton, puts it up. It doesn't go, follows. He's fouled on the follow. And that's Shoemate's first foul. They said this was a common foul. He will not shoot. It apparently took place after he came down, before he went up. Bruins inbounding from the end line. Lee outside right, feeds Wilkes to the high post, off to the right, driving underneath. Farmer misses, follow, Walton good. Now the Bruins put on the full court pressure. It'll be inbounded here by Novak into Shoemate up the middle, helping out. The Bruins have 3 men up front now. They're still boxing him in back here. Bruins scored the basket, and that was important. Notre Dame up court, they may stall. Clay into the key, shoots from 14 over Walton, banks it in. And we'll see whether they go into any kind of a delay game if they get a lead. Off to the left wing, then back out to Greg Lee. Into the key. 15-footer Farmer, it goes. Farmer settled in, 4-2, UCLA. Full court pressure again. Shoemate down to help out. Novak holding it and then giving it across. Off to the right. Underneath, Brokaw swatted away by Walton. It's no good off the iron. Shoemate tries to put it up. It's no good. There's a whistle. They've called a foul here. Shoemate makes the first of 2. Makes it good. So Shoemate ties it up. And Shoemate this year has been shooting free throws very well. 60%, well, it's good for him. Underneath to Walton, he puts it in, 6-4. Full court pressure is on. Little variance on the zone here, more of a 3-1-1. Now, to the middle, to Shoemate, gets past his man, to the baseline left, can't shoot over Walton, blocks the shot, travels with the ball, does Crowdy. Walton finally got a hand on his shot. Out of bounds, UCLA on the turnover. The Bruins lead 6-4 in the first 2 minutes of play. To Walton at the high post here. It's Novak to Wilkes at the high post. Walton playing low, and fronting him is Shoemate. Driving into the key, Hollifield. Hang shot, it's around, settles in, good. Hollifield. And now the Bruins putting on full court pressure once again. Out of back court. Now Crowdy helping out down the right-hand side. Brokaw has it, gives to Clay. The little guard works at the point. Greg Lee against him. Now underneath to Shoemate against Walton. Pivots back and forth. He has some good moves. Finally throws it up, but it's no good over Walton. Keith Wilkes grabs the rebound for UCLA on the other side. Bruins up court. Greg Lee in front court. Now with 17:30 in the first half. Long lob put in by Farmer. No good. Oh, Farmer trying to put it in, taking it facing Lee, throwing it to him and putting it over his head, but it didn't go. Irish rebounding, have it up court now, 8-4, UCLA. Off the right wing there, Crowdy, then the high post. Here's Novak trying to drive, blocked by Wilkes, and he takes it. Novak, Wilkes blocking it, driving, length of the court, goes in, player control foul. He bumped into Brokaw, covering him. Team second, now 1 on Walton, 1 on Wilkes thus far. On the backcourt, Novak trying to help out down the right-hand side. Clay past the timeline, comes into the key, bounce pass to the baseline. Open end, taking the shot is Shoemate. Baseline to the left, from the right to left. Walton comes up at high post, takes a feed from Lee, holds it overhead. Now underneath the Farmer, got in too deep off the board. It came to Shoemate. Up court, Clay off to the left into the key. Jumper over Greg Lee, no good. Rebound taken by Notre Dame. It went up by Novak. Loose ball. Pass to Crowdy. Puts it in. The Irish have tied it after the Bruins took a 4-point lead. Greg Lee at the point. And let's see what the Irish are playing here. Off to the right to Farmer. Now to Wilkes at the high post against Novak. Off to the left corner. Hollifield shoots from the corner. It doesn't go. Walton controls the rebound. He's fouled by Shoemate. It's inbounded by UCLA near the UCLA basket. In it comes to Greg Lee. Well outside. Open for the moment into the right corner. Wilkes then not open as he's covered. Covered by Novak. Bounce pass to Farmer in the right corner. Back to Wilkes on the outside. Shot good by Keith Wilkes. Keith put the Bruins ahead in a ball game. We'd like to look that up sometime. He's done it many times. Out of back court, they work it against the press. Down the right-hand side, Brokaw. Picked up over there now by Greg Lee. Switch off to the left. Clay driving. Loses it going in, and it's out of bounds. Touched by UCLA. Out of bounds to Notre Dame. Play to inbound to the right corner to Brokaw. Brokaw shooting. A hand up by Walton, but before that, there was a whistle and a foul against Brokaw. UCLA with a 2-point lead. Left wing Hollifield comes toward the key now. Takes a 15-foot jump shot. It doesn't go. Comes off almost to the top. Walton gets it off to the right. Beats the Wilkes 15-footer by Keith. Good. 12-8. And Wilkes has made the last two. The crowd thought it hit the top of the board out of bounds. I think it hit the leading edge, but I'm not sure. Out of backcourt come the Irish. 12-8. Bruins at this stage. Into the key, Brokaw, and back out to Clay. Lee is on Dwight Clay. Off to the left to Brokaw, and it's Larry Farmer with him. Tries to drive the baseline. Walton to help out. Reverse layup, no good as he went beyond. Walton out to midcourt, now to Lee. Cutting for the right, Farmer lays it in. Bruins 14-8. Shoemate has picked up 2 fouls. Notre Dame inbounds, and the Bruins covering now and helping out. Crowdy takes it down the left-hand side. He may go in against Walton. He does, but he has nowhere to go. Outside, here's a shot by Brokaw from 20 feet. No good. Drops in finally. Off the iron, almost off, and then in. The Irish, a very improved team. We saw their game against Illinois. They're a good club. Fed outside to Wilkes here now. He can't work it into Walton. 1-2 into the left corner to Hollifield. Lob to Walton from Hollifield. Good by Walton. And Notre Dame having to work against the Bruin variant on the press here. More of a 3-1-1. Here's Shoemate down the right-hand side, however. Now on the outside to Gary Novak, and then little Dwight Clay to set up the attack. 16-10 UCLA. High post, Novak trying to screen for Crotty off to the right. Brokaw, he can't get the shot. Walton blocking it, taken by Wilkes. Wilkes checked in backcourt. He's checked himself. He looked to throw the long pass, and he couldn't get it to anybody. Now it's brought up court by Hollifield to Greg Lee. Wait for Walton to get set. Walton sets at the high post, takes the feed. The forward reverse. Hollifield into the key. He'll have to pass off. Nope, he traveled. He was good defensive effort by Crotty on Hollifield. Bruin basketball is brought to you by Texaco. Now the Bruins relax the press and up court. 16-10 UCLA. The Irish work it off to the left into the key. Now high post Matt Shoemate feeding Clay will come loose. Guard breaking underneath. Good assist by Shoemate. 16-12. Lob to Farmer underneath. He's forced out, however. Turns, sets it up. It's blocked, but a goaltending call against Shoemate. Farmer gets credit for the 2. Now the Bruins still putting on full court pressure. Shoemate, the big 6'9" setter, helping out back here. Gives it to Novak, up in the front court to Shoemate. 2-on-1 against Walton, driving from the left. Crotty puts it up over Walton and in. When they broke the press, it was 2-on-1 against Bill. Now work it out to the left wing to Hollifield. Fed to the right, off the weak side to Farmer. Fouled by number 25, Brokaw, for he and Shoemate 2 apiece. Into the corner to Greg Lee, who was covered. Back on the outside now. High lob to Bill. Underneath. Puts it at. No, it doesn't go. He got in a little too deep coming down. He couldn't quite handle it, and then Shoemate took the rebound. The Irish can come within 2 if they can hit here. 18-14, UCLA. Clay off to the left. Shoemate shooting from 20 feet. It doesn't go. Rebound grabbed by Hollifield for UCLA. Up court, a long pass to Wilkes. Stops, banks one. It's good. 8-foot bank by Keith Wilkes. Fed in to Crotty helping out, taking a high leaping pass to help beat the full court press. They got a hand for it. The Irish have been well drilled against the full court press, no question about it. Lee trying to guard Clay, who drives. He meets Walton, swats it out of bounds. It'll be Notre Dame's ball. Clay could not get in against Walton there that time. Fed into the corner. Now Clay comes out, tries to drive again, passes off. Shoemate is almost open, throws it over Walton's lead, and makes it. 20-16. Bruins in front court. Farmer open, 15-footer, short, put up, and it goes by Greg Lee. Walton underneath, putting it up. Now, here's Crotty dribbling through traffic. He gets to Clay after it was deflected away from him. Clay in the left corner shoots from the deep corner and hits. 22-18, UCLA by 4. High lob to Farmer, puts it in. Farmer came in from the right that time, the right of the lane, and took it and put it in. 24-18. Lee is tremendous on that pass. Now, Clay in the midcourt area, works it off to the right to Crotty. 24-18. Crotty against Hollifield in the right corner, back out to Clay against Greg Lee. He'll try to beat him here. He does, and misses. Rebound. Walton takes it away from his own man, throws it out to Greg Lee in front court. Lee stops. Now, banks it up. It doesn't go. He kind of forced that one under a tight guard, out of bounds. Give him a UCLA. The Bruins inbound. leading by 6, 24-18. Into the right corner to Greg Lee, not open. Crotty has picked him up there, pivots around, needs help behind, out to Keith Wilkes. Outside the top of the key, gives back to Lee at the point now. To Hollifield off to the left. They're playing a box-and-one zone. Hollifield tries to go along the end line. A foul called, or did he just step out? No, they called one on Hollifield. Player control foul. Fed to Shoemate at the high post. Walton's out there with him. He shoots over Bill. It doesn't go. Rebound knocked up, but not very well. And finally, a loose ball. Keith Wilkes gets it. Wrenches it clear. He looks behind him. Evidently, some of the people on the court were yelling something at him, and he thought maybe the official was saying something. Here's front court now. Wilkes to the right of the lane, looking, then back out to Greg Lee. Notre Dame playing that box-and-one. Farmer on the outside here. And now to Greg Lee. High lob to Walton. Oh, he laid it in over his head. He just reached back and dropped it in. 26-18. Spectacular. Front court now. And off the knee of Clay. Loose ball on the floor. Wilkes gets it. Passes back to Walton. Quick hands. Farmer it was. Quick hands of Larry Farmer battling for it. Back to Farmer. Throws up an 8-footer. It doesn't go. From in the lane. Rebound Notre Dame Shoemate. Walton was still in back court. He had not come up. Now here into the left corner. Novak open. Picked up immediately by Farmer. Outside Cash Shoemate. It doesn't go. Rebound Walton. He's bounced it once. He'll let it go. I think that's incidental. It's not the start of a dribble, but in any event, he halts, does not dribble himself, gives to Greg Lee, who's in the midcourt area now, out front court. Off to the right wing to Farmer, fed to Wilkes, gets inside his man who swiped for the ball, shoots, and it doesn't go. Knocked into the air and taken by the Irish. Brokaw up court to Clay, one-on-one against Wilkes. Lee shoots from the outside, a bank, no good. Rebound, swatted away by Walton on the shot attempt by Crotty, but out to midcourt to Brokaw. Brokaw almost got a pick there, and the Bruins switch off, shoots over Hollifield, and hits. 20-footer by Gary Brokaw. They're going to be tough with this kind of a crowd all the way, off to the left wing. And then to Wilkes at the high post. Walton trying to get clear, but he can't. Here's Lee from 15, shooting and heading. Greg Lee hits from the outside to make it 28-20. That's something the Bruins will need against this defense. Lee giving him a lot of room, trying to bother the pass off, and also he likes to drive, and you got to watch for that. Here's Shoemate at the baseline left. They switch off, and Farmer picks him up. Lee comes in, swats the ball away. A foul called on who? It's on Hollifield, which was off to the other side of the lane there. Hollifield picked up his second and team fourth. Obviously has to be in the flagrant foul category. Missing is Crotty on the first attempt. Pete Turgovich to commit. Second free throw is good. And Solinsky shot this one. Long pass to Farmer. He may have traveled. They didn't call it. Rebound to Turgovich. Back out to Wilkes. I think Farmer took a couple little steps in there that the officials did not dare call. Out in the midcourt area. That's the reason for the booing in the background. Turgovich in the left wing feeds to Farmer at the high post to Wilkes. Off to the baseline right. Shoots and hits. Keith Wilkes. 7:13 to go. Fed off to the right wing now to Solinsky. Feeds underneath to Brokaw. Turn and shoot. It's off the iron. No good. Rebound taken by Keith Wilkes. Dribbles once. He'll have to give to Walton. Greg Lee will drop back now as Walton dribbles twice. Gives on the bounce to Greg Lee, who brings it past the timeline. Led at the point by Brokaw off to the left wing to Turgovich into the key to Wilkes. Tries to get inside his man. Back to Turgovich. Tries to drive the baseline. Can't. Back to Wilkes in the left corner. Wilkes now from 20 feet. It's off the iron, no good. Knocked away by Farmer. It'll be out of bounds to Notre Dame. 30-21. I'm not criticizing the architecture of today, certainly, but it's an interesting place to visit. All right, here's Novak getting underneath against Walton, throwing it up, partially blocked, taken on the other side by Brokaw. Can't get a shot against Farmer. Back on the outside. Clay off to the left now to Brokaw, feeding underneath to Shoemate, trying to bull his way against Walton. Makes a good move. Right, then back to left, wheeling to left, and in traffic, he made two. Whenever anybody scores against Walton's defense, there's a big cheer. To Walton, back out to Wilkes. Wilkes can't get a shot as Shoemate is out to cover him. Then back on the outside lead to Walton at high post, gives back to Gregg. Passes underneath, setting up Farmer, misses. Follow knocked out of bounds. Notre Dame knocked it back in. Let's see, they'll give it to UCLA. Knocked out by the Irish, who had three men under the boards there, screening the Bruins out. Turgovich to inbound. Off to the left, then Farmer in the key, shoots from 15. Turgovich gets the follow shot, doesn't go. Out it comes, stolen by the Bruins. Keith Wilkes in the right corner, he shoots 20-footer, it doesn't go. Shoemate gets this one. The Bruins really missed a bunch of good shots in there. 30-23. Driving underneath Selinsky, puts it up. It misses as Walton didn't go up with it. But he kind of blew it because of Walton's presence. Front court, Farmer. Farmer in the key. Turn around. Bang. Good. One-on-one there against Brokaw. Nobody else up court. And coming for the right that he could throw to, 32-23. Farmer's solo effort. Well, Selinsky will never miss a better one than he had against Walton. Almost hooked away by Turgovich, who is on play now at the point. Brokaw driving against Farmer, meets Walton, partially blocks the shot. Battle for the rebound. They call it jump ball. Bruins going for 61, ahead by 9, but this one, it's a battle. Tipped off to the right by Walton. Greg Lee taking it in the front court now. He'll wait for Walton to come on up. The Bruins to set up the play. The Bruins have not been guilty of as many turnovers in this one. Farmer in the key, shoots from 15. It doesn't go. Outside, Wilkes makes a nice rebound, takes it back outside. He was almost fouled. To Walton, here's Farmer cutting underneath. Feet for him, and it's good. It rolled around, then settled in. Play off to the left of Brokaw. Bruins with a tough defense, as usual. Notre Dame's a good shooting club. Into the left corner, Brokaw shoots and hits. 34-25. 4:17 to go in the first half. Greg Lee to the left of the key. Almost loses the ball. Does lose it. Clay gets it. Stealing it from. Here he comes up court. He almost loses the handle. Lee covering him in the corner. Back out to Novak. Gets inside his man to Shoemate. Shoemate goes, and there's a whistle, and he traveled with the ball. Number 41 is in the ball game, Chris Stevens. Fed the high post man, Keith Wilkes, off to the right to Farmer. Walton over to the left of the lane here. Now there's a whistle. What do they call here? Timeout. UCLA wants a timeout. So with 3:47 to go in the first half. For Notre Dame, 11 out of 30 thus far. Bruins with the ball in front court with a 9-point lead. Working off to the left wing to Turgovich, then back out at the point to Greg Lee. Feeds off to the right now to Farmer. Always looking for Walton. They're fronting him with Novak at the moment, and Shoemate on the outside with Keith Wilkes. In a switch-off, Shoemate got into some foul trouble. Wilkes dribbles through traffic, goes to the baseline left, can't shoot, gets Lee open, feeds back to him, misses an 18-footer rebound. Farmer puts it up, it misses. Rebound, Wilkes and Farmer battling. Wilkes gets it, and he makes a basket, but they call traveling and allow no basket. Here's Brokaw driving into the key, passing off, deflected by Walton, grabbed by Wilkes, loose ball. Wilkes still fighting for it, taken away, jump ball. Turgovich finally came out of it there, and the Irish on the floor with him are Crotty, number 40, and let's see, Shoemate picking himself up also. Tip controlled by Notre Dame, by Novak, tipping it by Crotty, tipping it back here. Riding around to the right, Brokaw. The Bruins switch off on him. His shot is blocked by Wilkes. Loose ball, grabbed by Wilkes. Up court quickly, Turgovich, 1-on-2. Passes off into the hands of Shoemate, coming up ahead of Dave Myers. Good defensive effort by Shoemate. He's a good one. The 6'9", 235-pound center. They're working him on the high post to draw Walton in, but Walton goes underneath anyway. They dribble. Clay shoots after turning, driving along the baseline. Walton out quickly to Turgovich. He'll get a layup. Swatted away from the top. 2 points. Goaltending call against Notre Dame. 36-25. UCLA with 2:20 to go in the first half. Shoemate taking it at the high post here. Back out now to Novak. Trying to get into the key here. Shoots over Dave Myers. It's no good from 15 feet. Rebound. Wilkes again. Out to midcourt to Dave Myers. No fast break possible. Dave will slow it down and give behind him to Greg Lee. Now the Bruins set it up. They have Novak on Walton with Shoemate sort of floating behind him, but playing outside a little bit more, trying to cover Wilkes. Into the corner to the left, Wilkes has it, and his body gets it to Walton. Walton turns, wheels inside, lays it in. He wheeled inside Novak that time, laid it in, 38-25. Here is Shoemate going in from the left, over Walton. He misses. Rebound taken by Turgovich. Walton gets it after Turgovich lost it. Out to Greg Lee now. Turgovich really battling and had position there for that rebound. Lee into the key, shoots from 15. It's off the iron. A little flat that time. Shoemate took it off. Walton still in back court, by the way. He did not come up. 38-25 with 1:15. Here's Clay against Lee in the left corner. Works it back out to Brokaw now. Brokaw trying to get a pick on Shoemate and shoot from the outside. Can't get it. Wilkes is on him at the moment. Works it now to Shoemate at low post, fed back to Clay. Lee shuts him off as far as the baseline is concerned. It's deflected away, knocked out of bounds. They'll give it to Notre Dame. I think Wilkes got a hand on it. Brokaw. Wilkes right with him. He turns, forces a shot. Foul called. Player control foul against Brokaw. He's done that twice. Forced it and leaned into a man in doing it. Trying to barrel his man out of the way, so to speak. so he has 3 fouls against him as well. And Brokaw, one of their high scorers. Front court, the Bruins working it back and forth carefully against the Notre Dame zone. Novak playing behind Walton, who's at the high post here. Shoemate floating deeper with Wilkes at the moment. The Bruins may run it all the way down to work for the one shot, and I think that's what they're going to do. Turgovich back to Lee. They just penetrate off to the right now to Dave Myers, then back to Greg Lee. 13-point lead. Coach Wooden says that he'll go in with 15 or settle for 13. 12 seconds. Back out to Lee once again. They'd like to get it into Bill, but we'll see what happens. Greg with 6-5 underneath to Walton, shoots from the baseline, misses. It's tipped out. 2 seconds, 1 second. Threw up a long shot. It doesn't go. That's the end of the half. So, at halftime of a well-played first half, it is UCLA 38, Notre Dame 25. The Irish have never led and never been tied since it was 8-8. Center jump, Shoemate, and it's controlled by Wilkes getting it and losing it to Shoemate coming back. They battled for it after Walton had controlled the tip. And Shoemate came back and took it away from Wilkes after he had been buffeted for it. And the Irish will get the first pop of the bucket. Fed in to Novak at the high post, turns, gives back to Clay. Clay with Lee, bounce pass. Brokaw turns, shoots from the baseline, hits. 38-27, so the Irish score first. And now, Greg Lee, high lob to Walton at the high post, off to the left to Lee, can't get a shot, bounce pass back to Walton, turn, pass off, broken up, taken however by Wilkes getting it, shoots from 15, and hits, Keith Wilkes. I'm so amazed at him, not just his shooting, but the things he does, shutting off the other man. That's the amazing thing. At high post, Crotty has it here for the Irish in front court. Now works it to Brokaw, takes it back, then he'll work off to the left, and in the midcourt area, Clay at the point to set it up. He working against Greg Lee. Walton is sort of one-man zone into the basket. Brokaw against Larry Farmer off to the right. Throws it up over Walton's aid, and it's no good. Rebound followed by Shoemate. Blocked, and then stolen as he came down to the floor by Wilkes. Whistle, however, and they have called what? Double dribble here on Keith Wilkes, who checks with the official. He can't understand that one. And now, Clay in the midcourt area. Works it off in the right corner to Shoemate against Farmer at the moment. He drives underneath, meets Walton, throws it up. It's blocked. Rebound taken. Farmer quickly to Greg Lee, but he'll meet Clay. Goes into the key. Stops, feeds Farmer underneath. Waits, throws it up and in. And a foul as well against Gary Novak. Farmer misses the free throw. Outside, it's grabbed by Hollifield. Baseline left, shoots from 10. It doesn't go. A whistle and a foul called underneath. Or was it a 3-second violation? Bruins lead by 15. Shoemate in the right corner. Clay from 17. Shoots and hits. Halftime margin again, 13 points. Lee works it off to the left wing to Hollifield. Underneath to Walton, slipping away. And he misses. Rebound taken by Notre Dame. Clay almost losing it on the dribble. Getting up court, shooting from 15 and hitting again. 42-31. Here's fed to Walton. Back out to Lee. Passes off. Wilkes, baseline right, shoots, and it's in and out, no good. Rebound taken by Notre Dame's Crotty. Up court, Clay, the Irish rallying here. Clay at the 20-foot mark, goes into the key, passes off. Tries to set up Shoemate, can't get in against Walton. Back on the outside, loose ball, Greg Lee gets it. 3-on-3 on the fast break. He stops, Greg Lee works it off to the left to Wilkes, back to Greg. He's going to wait for Walton to set up the play. Fed to Wilkes now to side post. Goes into the key, 15-foot fall away. Good, Keith Wilkes. 44-31 again. Keith with a key clutch bucket. After the Irish had started to rally and the crowd came alive, it's 13 points again. Now, here is Clay into the key. 20-footer by Dwight Clay. It's no good. Out it comes. Crotty has it knocked away and taken inside him by Hollifield. Good effort. Here comes Larry on the dribble. Into the key. Stop, turn around, gives across court to Wilkes. He's going to wait for Walton to come up court. Bill coming up, takes it to the outside here now, gives to Lee, and now Walton will take his low post. He's playing at low post. He has men in front of him. Works it off to the right to Farmer. Now across court to Hollifield, open bank from 10. It's good. He didn't even use the glass. Just swished through. 46-31. Notre Dame actually blue and golden blue are the school colors. It's funny to remember that. Pass into the lane, and it's broken up by the Bruins. Hollifield getting it. Up court, top of the circle, shoots from 20. It's in and out, no good. Tipped by a Shoemate. Lost to Farmer, puts it up, misses. Battle under the boards. Grabbed by UCLA. Pushed up by Farmer, blocked again, put up again, and Farmer finally gets it in. 48-31. Now, wait a minute. A technical called here against Coach Dick Digger Phelps. And let's see, do we have a timeout or not? Have they called a time? Greg Lee's going to go to the line and shoot the technical. It's good. Hollifield will take it out of bounds for UCLA at midcourt. Greg Lee, midcourt area. Bruins leading by 18, 49-31. Hollifield at the left wing now. Dribbles around to the top of the circle, gives to Farmer. Farmer tries to drive the lane, does, throws up one, and it's good. Let's see. They call traveling against Farmer. They take the basket away. Dwight Clay, front court for the Irish. Feeds to Brokaw to the left, and Farmer's done a good job on him. Drives toward the baseline, shoots over Farmer and hits, but that's a good individual one-on-one effort. Farmer had a tight guard on him all the way. Now, back on the outside front court, Greg Lee for the Bruins. Walton at the side post, shot from the left corner by Hollifield. It's no good, out it comes, and that's a no call. Hollifield bumped somebody, I think, in there, but the crowd going for that. The Irish have the ball. Work it off to the right in front court. Novak, cross-court open. Shoemate from 15 hits. He's a good outside shooter. He has 10 points now. Lee was bothered by Clay for just a moment of Wilkes. Then he takes it back midcourt area. Walton at the high post. Feeds to Lee off the weak side. Back to Walton underneath. Back outside. 14-footer by Farmer is short. Walton gets the rebound. Turns it. Swatted away. Taken by UCLA's Hollifield. They call goaltending. For anybody to block a Walton shot and be called for goaltending, the crowd would have to boo. You can't blame them. Driving to the right, Hollifield hooks it away from Crotty. Bruins have not been using the full court press with this kind of a lead. Here's Crotty to the right of the key. Screens now, shoots Clay. It's no good. Out it comes. Way outside. And it's taken by Brokaw. Farmer on the outside guarding him. The Bruins man for man into the key. Stop, shoot, fall away. It's no good. Out it comes. Greg Lee grabs it. Starts a 3-on-2 fast break. Off the knee of Clay and out of bounds. Off to the right, but it stopped the fast break as the Bruins try to get number 61. And they have a 16-point lead. Greg Lee after the inbound off to the left side to Hollifield into the key to Wilkes. Wilkes to the left of the lane. Works it off to the left to Hollifield. Notre Dame continues to use that zone, which looks like a man for man. Off to the right to Greg Lee into the right corner. Farmer not open, covered by Brokaw back on the outside. Hollifield at the 15-foot mark gets 1 foot outside the lane. Walton outside the lane on the side post to the left. Wilkes now in the key. Wilkes holding it there. Goes off to the right, shoots. 12-footer, good. Keith Wilkes. 53-35. Front court. The Irish. Clay on the outside. Lee out there with him. Works it off to the baseline right to Novak. Back out to Crotty, fed it underneath to Brokaw. Can't put it in off the loud pass. Rebound, comes outside to Shoemate. Turn, fall away, 15-footer off the iron. No good. Farmer rebound for UCLA out to midcourt to Greg Lee. Lee slows it down now as the Notre Dame team is set and his own team is not. Lee working it back and forth against Clay. Works it to Walton. It's deflected away by Shoemate. Back up court comes Shoemate taking the pass off his knee. Saves it, bring out of bounds, but into the hands of Walton of UCLA. Back up court come the Bruins. Greg Lee driving for the left. Hollifield lays it up and in. Good assist on a driving bounce pass by Greg Lee. Bruins stretching it to 20 now. Into the key. Clay throws it up. It's no good. Rebound taken by Wilkes. Wilkes wants to throw it out there, but too many Irish there. Slows it down to midcourt. Lee comes back. He was starting the fast break there, and he'll slow it down again. Bruins have time on their side now. They can go for the better shot if they like. High lob to Walton. No, knocked away by Shoemate, but Lee gets it in the left corner again. Comes back. Gives it to Wilkes. Wilkes at the side post there. Double team. They'll call it jump ball as Clay got his hands on it. As Wilkes was guarded by Crotty. The jump ball was called just before they'll jump again. Hollifield standing just outside the circle off the way. It's tipped by Wilkes to Lee. Fed quickly too high to Walton, who didn't quite expect it that quickly from Greg Lee. Now they're in front court. Brokaw dribbling back and forth, goes to the baseline, shoots and hits. Oh, he's good. One-on-one. Solinsky is in the ball game in place of Novak, who has been shut out in this one, and he had a 13-point average coming in. In back court, he'll have to go the other way. Lob to Hollifield in front court. He'll be open if he wants to shoot, but he doesn't. Brokaw coming up to meet him. Back in the midcourt area to Greg Lee against Clay. Guarded closely there. He'll have to pass to somebody. Feeds to Wilkes. He penetrates. Now Wilkes takes it back into the midcourt area. Works it off to the right to Larry Farmer. Back to Wilkes again. Bruins will go for the the good shot. Here's Hollifield open at 12. Shoots. He doesn't go. Rebound inside. Shoemate battles for it. Loose ball, but he finally gets it himself. Dribbles up court. 3-on-2 on the fast break. Bad pass. Baseline. Lets it. Good by Solinsky. And Notre Dame has scored. 55-39. Front court quickly to Hollifield. In he goes against Shoemate. Makes it. Shoemate saw him coming up too late. And it's quickly 18 again with 10:48 to go. Work it off to the right to Solinsky, 6'3" forward in place. Here's Crotty at the high post. Now Hollifield is out there defending him. Pass across to Shoemate, broken up, taken by Greg Lee of UCLA. Now, quickly Hollifield, baseline jumper, it's no good, using the glass. Wilkes rebounds, throws it up, no good. He couldn't quite get control. Farmer up, it's no good. Tip in, around and in. It's credited to who? Wilkes gets that tip in. Key broke off, feeds Crotty. Crotty driving inside his man, drives. Walton swats it away, taken by Keith Wilkes. Long pass to Greg Lee against Clay. Stops, he's checked. Back on the outside to Hollifield. Baseline right, here's Farmer feeding, setting up Wilkes. 2 points, good assist by Farmer. The Bruins run it to 61-39. Shoemate shooting over Walton from 15 off the iron, short follow, shoved up by Brokaw, swatted by Walton, no good. Rebound on the outside, Shoemate loses it. Hollifield got a hand on it here. Shoemate throwing it up, no good against Walton. Follow is no good. There's a whistle. Player control foul is called against Shoemate of Notre Dame. That'll be his third. Hollifield throws it all the way in the front court from out of bounds to Larry Farmer. He's in front court, dribbling between two men, gives it to Keith Wilkes in the midcourt area. Now, off to the left wing, the Hollifield Bruins normal attack. Feed is missed by Walton and Farmer, taken by Novak. Back in the ball game for Notre Dame. Dwight Clay into the key. Dribbles across it into the right corner. Solinsky at short range 10-footer. It's good. 61-41, and the full court press is on. Long pass to front court to Farmer. Now he's covered by two men. He stops off to the right of the key. Solinsky all over him, knocks the ball finally out of bounds. Oh, no, it was touched by Farmer. By Clay as they rolled the ball up to him. The clock doesn't start till he touches it. Shoemate at the top of the circle, shoots from 20 feet. It's good. 61-43. The margin is 18, and the Bruins are going to be pressed. And they will not be able to afford mistakes. Walton helping out at backcourt. Back to Hollifield. Hollifield covered closely. Dribbling back and forth in the front court to Walton, helping out. The Bruins have it. Walton drives at short range, dribbling to the left of the lane, back out to Greg Lee, into the circle, then off to the left to Hollifield, back to the midcourt area to Lee, off to the right wing to Farmer. 8:26 to go. Bruins doing a little clock killing here in the midcourt area. Hollifield, they may just go for the good setup. No, Lee shoots from 15, forcing one, and was he fouled? I believe he was, by Clay. Makes the first 62-43. Second is also good by Greg Lee. 63-43. Clay front court. Met by Greg Lee. Shoemate at the high post. Walton out there. And he shoots from 20. It doesn't go this time. Walton gets the rebound. And Walton was covering and battles clear. He draws a foul. Number 53, Willie Townsend against the full court press. Hollifield into Walton helping out. The midcourt intercepted by Solinsky, going out of bounds with it at midcourt near the scorer's table. Hollifield will inbound, throws it into Walton. Walton midcourt area gives to Greg Lee now. He'll have people all over him. That'll be Clay notably. Passes to Walton. Let's see what they call traveling against Greg Lee. 63-43. They were at a kind of a stagnant period at that stage. All right, Notre Dame now. This is Townsend in the key, dribbling one-on-one, trying to get away against Wilkes. He loses the ball, and it's taken by Greg Lee. Wilkes knocked it away. What a game Keith has played today. I just can't say too much about him. Midcourt area, Hollifield now. 7:33 to Greg Lee. That's the time remaining. Now, fed to Wilkes at the high post. The crowd saw a foul, but nobody else did. Driving around to the right, Keith Wilkes with the ball back and forth, holding it overhead. Walton outside at a high post here. Gives it back to Wilkes. Wilkes drives toward the baseline, dribbling back and forth. Fall away 10-footer. Keith hits again. 65-43. Corner shot. Brokaw over Farmer. Good. He's a good one. Brokaw hitting. 65-45. Wilkes dribbling in backcourt, gives to Walton, helping out against Notre Dame's pressure. And in front court, Hollifield hands it behind his back to Greg Lee. Now back to Hollifield outside the circle. High lob, tipped in by Walton. He just sort of held it momentarily and dropped it in. 6:32 to go. Fed down to Shoemate against Walton. Blocked by Walton, but I think he committed the foul that time. He missed. Shoemate shoots his 2 with 6:28 to go in the game. He cuts it to 21, 67-46. Good on the free throw, 47-67. Walton helping out of backcourt. Turgevich now in. Turgevich midcourt area gives to Greg Lee. He's playing for Hollifield at the left wing. And also Dave Myers in place of Farmer. Fed into the key, then back from Walton to Turgevich, to Lee cutting, and Lee puts it in. 69-47 assist by Bill Walton. Left corner, here's Brokaw, front court, gets inside his man, has to pass off to Shoemate, fall away from 12, no good against Walton, and Dave Myers gets the rebound. Dave Myers, the sophomore from Sonora High of La Habra. And now Lee checked in backcourt, he throws it in the front court now to Dave Myers. Babe against Townsend, fed to Walton at the high post on that reverse play with Turgevich cutting, it's deflected away and out of bounds. Now the Bruins inbounding. Lob, Walton manages to control in the right corner. Back to Turgevich, open at 15. It's in. Dave Myers, rather. Myers open at 15, and he put it in. The other sophomore. Here driving into the key. Brokaw has to pass off to Shoemate. Throws it up. He's fouled, and it goes. Fouled by Dave Myers. 16 now, yeah. 17. 71-50 as he makes the 17th point. Walton in the front court. Let's see. What do they call here? Foul. Crotty guilty of this one. Number 40. This will be a common foul out of bounds for UCLA. 5 minutes and 11 seconds to go. Vince Carson in for Wilkes now. Corner shot here by Greg Lee. Doesn't go. Rebound taken by Gary Brokaw for Notre Dame. Up to midcourt. Here's Clay. Shoots over Lee from 22. It's no good. Rebound taken by Walton. Out to Turgevich on the fast break. 3-on-2 cutting from the left. Lee in a little deep. It's swatted away and a nice defensive effort by Brokaw. Taken by Solinsky out to midcourt quickly. Shoemate runs into Walton. He almost lost the ball there at 15. Cross court to the Crotty. Open baseline right. It doesn't go. Rebound Walton for UCLA out to midcourt to Turgevich. Turgevich 2-on-1 fast break underneath Carson. He puts it in. 2 points. Vince Carson assists Turgevich 73-50. Bruins by 23 with 4:26 to go, and number 61 very much in sight. Swen Nader being ready to come in. Underneath Brokaw, getting it over Walton. It dips in and out, no good. Knocked away. I think it was Walton that touched it last. It'll be Notre Dame's ball. Wilkes comes out with 20, his season high, by the way. Here on the outside, Brokaw now after the inbound pass. He's covered by Dave Myers. Off to the right to Novak, then Shoemate from 15. Shoots, misses. Rebound, a battle for it. Carson trying to get it, but inside him, Crowdy got it. No shot blocked, but I think a foul. Carson who drew that one. And here is Crowdy missing the shot. Officially are gold and blue, but they wear some green to go with it. Misses the second one. Nader rebounds to Greg Lee, who's played all the way. Greg passed the timeline now with Dwight Clay all over him. Off to the right wing to Dave Myers, the sophomore from La Habra, to Carson at the high post, back in the corner after the reverse pattern. Coming back outside, Greg Lee. Greg Lee bounced past to Carson at high post. He gets it off to the right wing. Myers shoots from the corner and hits. Dave Myers hitting. 3:32 remaining. Into the right corner, Shoemate wide open. Shoots and hits. That's 19 for Shoemate. 75-52. To Dave Myers. Notre Dame pressing. Dave still dribbling down the right-hand side. Double team. Throws it down the right side to Turgevich. It goes out of bounds. It'll be given to UCLA. It was touched by Crotty. Crotty deflected it. Now into the midcourt area. Webb is in the ballgame now, replacing Greg Lee. Tries to feed Nader. It's taken away by Shoemate, but he can't control it as it goes out of bounds at the Notre Dame bench. Turgevich into Nader at low post there. Turns, shoots from 4. It doesn't go. Rebound taken by Crotty on the other side. Out to midcourt to Novak. Novak getting down. He may get open for a shot here. Hooks one up. It doesn't go. Rebound Nader. He hasn't scored yet. Out to midcourt. Bad pass by Nader, as Bill Walton does, and he got it out too quickly and out of bounds that time. Into the key. Brokaw shoots over Myers and hits. So Brokaw is bringing up his average just a bit here near the end after the Bruins pretty well had it out of sight. A 21-point margin there, being pressured. Myers saves it. Beautiful pass in the front court to Gary Franklin in the ball game now. Here, open bank shot by Turgevich. Doesn't go. Followed by Nader, and it's good. Nader with 2. 77-54. They're after a few minutes of play, but he doesn't get that sometimes. Long outside cast, no good by Brokaw. Rebound, Crotty, left-handed hook up there, and there's a whistle and a foul on Dave Myers of UCLA. He's the other starter, and his free throwing, well, he's still having some troubles here. He hasn't been doing much better. He gets 1 out of 2 here. 77-55. Full court pressure on the young Bruins who are in here now. Turgovich and Myers from backcourt. Back to Turgovich on the bounce pass. Takes it into front court. Passes off to the right. Shot by Gary Franklin. Banks in and out. No good. Knocked away from Notre by Shoemate out of bounds. Gary Franklin will inbound. The junior from Reseda High. Into the left corner to Myers. Myers covered by Crotty along the left-hand side now. Bob Webb taking it out in the midcourt area. UCLA's Bob Webb, he was fouled by Clay. Turgovich will inbound, throws it to Nader. He throws up a 15-footer that doesn't go from an angle. Rebound taken by Gary Novak up court. Brokaw, here's Shoemate driving, passes off, sets up, and Crotty makes the 2. Inbounded to Nader helping out. He dribbles clear of a couple of men, passes cross court, gets to Turgovich. Turgovich goes all the way down, passes underneath, sets up Myers, 2 points, UCLA. Heat with a beautiful move, drove and then bounced past across. 1:24 to go, 79-57. Here's Shoemate against Nader, trying to get a shot from the baseline. He does and hits. A lot of moves. Nader didn't go for any of the fakes, but he managed to shoot it up and over. Nader bottled up in the corner, forced out. Let's see, they'll still give it to UCLA. He was forced out, and UCLA will inbound from the end line. Willie and Mike Townsend both in. Fed into Gary Franklin, dribbles between 2 men, almost loses the dribble at backcourt. Almost came off his knee there, gets it to front court to Dave Myers. Held in the midcourt area. He wants to get it to somebody. To Bob Webb, gets clear of his man. He penetrates, bounce pass to the baseline left, shot by Turgovich. It's up there, no good. Turgovich gets the rebound, but there is a whistle. I think the lane violation there by Nader. Well, we'll catch up on him in a moment. There's an outside cast, dips in and out, no good. The tip in is good by number 55, Wallback. And they take it away from the Bruins. It's shoved up, no good. Again, no good by Townsend, and the Bruins get it. Turgovich, threading through traffic, he draws a foul with 33 seconds. Number 21, Tom Hansen. Turgovich makes it 80 with his first free throw. He misses this one. Rebound goes to Mike Townsend. Gets it out now to Hansen, quickly in the front court. The Bruins lose it, stolen by Gary Franklin, but there's a whistle and a foul called against number 41, Chris Stevens. Franklin makes the first, and Gary will get the chance to shoot the bonus.